race. Now, in Kingston, 48.67 for the Olympic silver medalist from Bahrain, Salwa Naser. Can she do it again here? Paulino had not been beaten by Naser, had not been beaten for a couple of years in the 400 meters. Will she manage to turn things around here? Gabby Thomas was also ahead of her. Gabby now, as we know, moved down into the short sprints. Then we throw in some new challengers. Alexis Holmes has been here as a racer with Nikisha Price in 5 and 4. So Alexis knows that in the middle lanes, they've got a slight advantage over the challengers, particularly Amber Anning, who we're going to see in a second. There's Nikisha Price. Was only 8th in Kingston in that incredibly fast race, so she'll want to turn that around. So the world indoor champion from Great Britain, been based in the US for quite a few years now. Good 200-meter runner as well. Was disqualified actually at the European Indoor Championships. A real shame that was for lane infringement. Then Stacey-Ann Williams, she must look at the times and go, well, I'm pretty good. I've run 50 flat in my career, but that makes me the slowest in this field. Not by much. Then Whittaker on the inside. Actually ran an 800. I'm always curious about 400-meter runners at 2.2 this year.
Really? Okay. This is a walk in the park for her, yeah?
It's impressive. Yeah. Actually, Amber Anning's last race, 2.6 for an 800. What's going on?
You want that
400-meter runners, exactly. Yeah. Just testing them early season.
Yeah.
This, though, about their main event, the 400 meters. We got Whittaker on the inside, then Williams, Amber Anning, the world indoor champion, in 3. Nikisha Price, Alexis Holmes, Paulino, the Olympic champion, in 6. Naser, Olympic silver medalist, winner in Kingston, and then Kendall Ellis on the outside.
You know Naser's going to get out, but Paulino does have her in her sights just outside of her.
Safely away, everybody, round this first turn. Naser has started quickly. Paulino's going to try and hang on to her, and also gone out pretty quickly Alexis Holmes, as she likes to as well. Amber Anning in lane 3 got some room to make up. There's a big gap between Price and the athletes outside her, so Anning's going to have to check off that. Now, look at this. Naser out there in lane 7 has gone through the first 200 meters incredibly quickly. Paulino hanging on. Holmes is right there. Amber Anning looks as though others are starting to chase her down. Whittaker has really come through in lane 1, and as that stagger starts to unfurl, we'll put her perhaps in 3rd. But it's Naser against Paulino. Paulino fighting, trying to get there, has got the momentum. Here she comes, the Olympic champion is going to get the win this time. Paulino, 49.21. Holmes maybe hung on for 3rd place there. Very tired in the last 20 meters.
She had to
too
do
hard, too fast, what do you think? Very quick through that first 200.
Well, the thing is, she knows that Naser's a closer, so she knows that she's coming. And like I said, she had to come out here and establish herself. She put the finger up at the finish line just to let y'all know, look, don't forget, I'm still that girl. And you know what? I think it was important for her to maybe lose because she'd been winning so much. So Naser had to kind of dash that cold water in her face and be like, who are you? And she showed us who she is today.
Time? I mean, we've had such a day today. I mean, that was about a race, though, wasn't it? As you said.
You know, I'm just looking at the time right now as we're speaking because I was caught up in the race.
Yeah.
It was a phenomenal strategy. Just she stalked her around the first turn and just made sure she stayed close. She knew she could close on her edge. It was a fight in that finish line. 49.21. You break 50 point. It's respectable. We know what she can do. Like I said, she came to the home straight away, and you can see all that is a fight. And you can just see that, you know, Naser obviously broke down, and she could probably hear the footsteps. And athletes do have that feel for the athletes that are around them.
Yeah, a little bit disappointing for the world indoor champion. You can see that Amber Anning in lane 3.
Yeah, not the best finish for her, but lesson learned. And she lined up and... Okay, so I mentioned, you can just look at Paulino's face that she is fighting for this finish. You are not beating me today. Naser got really, really big with her arms, obviously getting very, very tired. But Paulino now knows that her speed is where it needs to be. She knows that she's going to have the strength. And she actually knows that Naser's not going to beat her in that 200. So going into that, she's got confidence to just win the whole thing and get herself a slam championship.
Yeah, just by contrast, at 200 meters, Naser was 3/10 ahead. And, that doesn't sound like a lot, but in it, if it was a flat 200 meters, that's a long way.
It's a long way. Those tenths mean something.
Well, MJ, a very happy spectator, and I'm sure very appreciative of it.
The women's 400 meters at the second stop of the 2025 Grand Slam Track Series in Miami turned into a showcase of world-class speed and tactical brilliance, ranking among the season's most gripping contests. Every athlete in the lineup brought credentials of sub-50-second personal bests, creating an atmosphere of anticipation, and the showdown more than lived up to the hype. Headlining the field was Bahrain's Salwa Naser, the Olympic silver medalist, fresh off her blistering 48.67 triumph in Kingston. Yet, standing firmly in her path was Marileidy Paulino of the Dominican Republic, who had never lost to Naser in a 400-meter final and intended to keep her streak alive. Adding further intensity to the mix were seasoned competitors such as Kendall Ellis, Alexis Holmes, Amber Anning, and Great Britain's reigning world indoor champion. Once the gun fired, Naser delivered her trademark lightning start, storming through the opening bend and seizing control by the halfway mark. Holmes powered strongly from her lane, while Anning worked hard on the inside to stay connected. Paulino, however, remained unflustered. She held her form, refusing to be drawn into Naser's pace trap, and executed her carefully planned strategy with poise. As the athletes charged into the home straight, Paulino's patience paid off. Closing relentlessly, she cut into Naser's lead stride by stride. In the decisive final meters, Paulino surged past to seize victory, stopping the clock at a season's best 49.21 seconds. Naser, unable to hold off the late charge, finished second in 49.33. Holmes secured third in 50.36, narrowly fending off Whitaker, who crossed in 50.38. Paulino's triumph was not just about speed, but about discipline and tactical mastery. She demonstrated how to neutralize a rival's aggressive start, conserving energy for a devastating finishing kick. Her composed execution reaffirmed her dominance in the event and underscored her tactical maturity on the track. Analysts were quick to point out that Paulino's composure under pressure is what separates her from the rest of the field. Her understated celebration, raising a single finger, spoke volumes. She remains the woman everyone else must chase. Beyond prestige, the race carried significant stakes. Paulino's win earned her 12 points in the Grand Slam standings, while Naser picked up 8. The series, initiated by Olympic legend Michael Johnson, is designed not only to showcase elite talent but also to reward athletes fairly, addressing long-standing concerns about financial recognition in track and field. With this Miami victory, Paulino extended her unbeaten streak and further entrenched her status as the benchmark of the women's 400 meters. As the Grand Slam Tour progresses, the athletics community will be watching intently to see if anyone can disrupt her grip on the event.